Good morning. The Committee on Homeland Security, Subcommittee on Counterterrorism and Intelligence, and the Subcommittee chaired by Mr. Meehan on Cybersecurity, Infrastructure Protection, and Security Technologies will come to order. The subcommittees are meeting today to hear testimony examining persistent and emerging cyber threats to the United States. And it's particularly fortuitous or appropriate that we hold this hearing in view of the fact that just the other day the Justice Department announced indictments of several Chinese Army officials for their role in violating cybersecurity. So it's, again, this hearing has been scheduled for several weeks. Ranking Member Higgins and I have been working on this for quite a while now, but again, I think the fact that we're holding it this week is particularly appropriate. Now, due to the sensitivity of today's hearing, the subcommittees will enter a closed portion with the witnesses to discuss classified and sensitive matters. And I ask unanimous consent that at the appropriate time, the subcommittees recess and reconvene in closed session in the committee's secure space. Without objection, so ordered. I will now recognize myself for an opening statement. The expanding number of cyber actors, ranging from nation-states to terrorists to criminals, as well as increasing attack capability and the increasing intensity of cyber attacks around the globe, have made cyber warfare and cybercrime one of the most significant threats facing the United States. This week, the Department of Justice unsealed an indictment against 5 Chinese individuals working for the Chinese military for hacking into multiple private sector U.S. businesses to steal their sensitive, proprietary information. Additionally, this week, the FBI and international law enforcement arrested over 100 people for using malicious software called Blackshades, which is used to remotely take over a computer, turn on the webcam, and access passwords and other information without the owner's knowledge. I am encouraged by the DOJ indictment and the recent law enforcement operation, and I hope that it is a signal of more aggressive U.S. actions to address the cyber threat as we move forward, because this threat is not going away. Cyber attacks have economic consequences, harm our national security, and could be used to carry out attacks in the U.S. homeland. Over the last decade, the threats facing the United States have become more diverse, as have the tools for conducting attacks and waging war. While the U.S. has made great strides to secure the homeland since 9/11, our enemies have evolved, and we must now consider that a foreign adversary, terrorist network, or a criminal organization will use cyberspace to penetrate America's defenses. Director of National Intelligence James Clapper featured the cyber threat prominently in his annual threat update to Congress this year. Along with other U.S. officials, he painted a sobering picture of the potential fallout from a cyber attack. Nation-states comprise the most capable cyber actors around the globe. Countries such as Russia, China, and Iran have demonstrated a willingness to use cyberspace to steal our military secrets, target our critical infrastructure, and even attack our free press and financial sector. Each has invested a great deal in cyber defenses and offensive capabilities, and some have even used cyber attacks as a proxy in a physical military confrontation. Many experts have suggested that Russian actors engaged in offensive attacks in Estonia to support military forces during their 2008 invasion of Georgia, and again during the recent annexation of Crimea. In addition to the threat from foreign powers, American citizens and companies lose billions from organized cybercrime every year. Traditional criminal networks have wasted no time in developing the online tradecraft to scam, steal, and destroy valuable data. The recent data breach at Target is a great example of exactly how far-reaching and sophisticated these operations are. The Department of Homeland Security plays a major role in helping private companies keep their networks secure, and this will only become more important in years to come. Finally, we are accustomed to think of the physical damage caused by terrorist networks to life and property. We must now be prepared to defend against groups like Al-Qaeda using increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks and cybercrime to their advantage. For many years, we have also seen these groups and violent Islamist extremists use the Internet to communicate, radicalize, and spread their hate. Today, we will hear about these issues from witnesses provided by the FBI and DHS. I am pleased that we will begin this hearing in an open session, and subsequently move into a closed executive session. I'm particularly pleased that Chairman Pat Meehan is here today and that his subcommittee is engaged in this hearing because he, along with Chairman McCall, have led this committee's efforts to enact serious cybersecurity legislation. With the support of the private sector and privacy advocates, their bill was passed unanimously out of this committee. It's a testament to their hard work, also to the importance of the issues, and I'm really privileged to have Pat working with us here today. I welcome those in the front line of the issue. I remind members, however, that we are going to be moving to a closed session where these questions can be better addressed. But again, if we can keep it to a few questions, I think it will be everyone's benefit because there is much to be learned in closed session. I just basically have one question, and I'd ask it to the panel. Are terrorist organizations actively targeting the U.S., and have you seen cases of terror groups coordinating with criminal organizations to carry out attacks or to gain capability? And again, we are in an open session, so you can tailor your answer accordingly.
Yes, Chairman. For this session, sir, yes, we are seeing that, but it's focused against the websites that are hosted in the U.S., and they tend to be low-level attacks, web site defacements and the like, maybe some DDoS activity. There are three principal groups that have the capabilities or developing the capabilities today or looking for the capabilities today to do something more, I'll say, in the physical realm. And as far as your second part of the question about joining with criminal organizations, we have not seen that yet, though we do actively watch for terrorist organizations crossing over to the criminal forms that are online today to acquire skill or talent or tools to perpetrate some greater crime.
And do you believe that we have the defense capability? I know you said you want to head them off, but also do we have the defense capability against these type attacks?
I think it's sector by sector, Chairman. I think in the .gov space, we're fairly well prepared along with the .mil, but once you get into the .com space, it's varying degrees of preparedness, I would say. And I would probably defer to Larry on that or Mr. Zelvin as far as the sectors and how well they're prepared. But we see finance in particular doing a stellar job, or a very, they've invested heavily. Transportation, some of the others, energy. Then as you get down lower on the priority scale, less so.
Mr. Lemons, Mr. Zelvin, any comment?
I would say I concur with Mr. Demarest at this point.
Chairman, the only thing I think I would add is that obviously law enforcement intelligence is doing their collection. Where we see is reporting from victims, and then we turn it over to the FBI and other law enforcement, both at the state and local level. Most of the terrorist groups, especially in the domestic, are going after faith-based groups. That it's been mostly trying to influence and having an impact with those groups. And we are working with them, and many of these groups don't have very sophisticated cyber defenses. So we're working with them to not only to understand what may be targeting them, but also what companies out there can assist. And then obviously we offer assistance as well. And I can cover more in the closed session if you like.
Thank you.